Well, guys, we're all aware that a woman reserves the right to change her mind. Well, apparently the UCI has adopted this format because we have another backflip by the UCI. Now, let's just roll that intro and let's just jump into what the hell's going on with the UCI and these backflips they're doing. Whoops! No Waynos Fotos jersey. I have one right here. Yep, and this one could be yours. These are not sourced from any of those third-party manufacturers like Spring. They're sourced from a boutique jersey manufacturer in Thailand. I've bought the product myself. I've used the product. Really good quality. So guys, support the channel so we can get more products to review and I can keep that content coming free to you. Well, Jan-Willem van Schip has been disqualified in the Belgium tour over some controversial handlebars. But there's a bit of a backstory to this, and it really comes down to the UCI. They're doing a backflip. So, allegedly. Now, I can only go by what I've read, and it's in the media, but it does seem to raise an eyebrow at how the UCI is managing these events and how they're allowing equipment to actually participate at the beginning and get checked in the event and allowing them to compete. And then afterwards, apparently, allegedly, from watching some TV footage, then they go, oh, we don't like the look of those handlebars, disqualified. Now the question is the letter of the law. Now, these handlebars do look quite unusual and do look like they could be designed to rest your forearms on like this. Now, as far as I'm aware from the rules, it's not the design of the handlebars that's a breach of the rule. It's actually using the handlebars to rest your forearms on that's a breach of the rule. So, it doesn't matter if they're just straight out round handlebars or they're the most aero handlebars on the planet. It's the action of doing the forearms on the handlebars to get in a more aero position that actually is the breach of the UCI rule. Now, even though these handlebars look like they've been designed to put your forearms on, because it has a very short stem and the actual handlebars have been made longer to get that extra reach, it does appear that these things are a little bit questionable when you look at them. But whether it looks questionable or we think it's questionable, is it actually breaking the rules? Now, the real controversial part of this disqualification is not so much that the guy, they said, hey, look, you can't use those handlebars, and he used them, and then he was disqualified. The manufacturer of the handlebars basically offered them to the UCI to assess, and they said they declined, allegedly. And then they were actually fitted to the bike, and the actual team asked the inspectors, the UCI inspectors, hey, look, we want to run these in this event. Are these okay? And they basically said, yeah. So it's only when that Jan used these handlebars in the actual event, and then there was some tweeting and controversial, and someone saw them on TV, that then they decided to say, hey, we don't like those handlebars, and we're going to punish the rider and disqualify them for use of the handlebars. The way that a lot of other sports are is that then what they would do is, and I've known this because I used to follow Formula 1 years ago, what they would do is if something was questionable like that, what they would do is then they would set a date in the future that then that handlebar would be banned. They couldn't ban it for that event. You can't go halfway through the event and say, hey, look, you can't use it. So then everyone who is using questionable handlebars then can actually look at the rules and go, hang on a sec, this measurement design doesn't fit into the rules, I can't use it in future. To just in retrospective decide that you want to disqualify someone for using something that looks a little bit different, I think is really inappropriate. And UCI is having starting to get a real reputation now for these backflips. It's what is throwing a bidder? Is it like just roll it along the ground, or is it actually or is it a throw? And it's these rules have been applied indiscriminately. So someone could roll it they're okay. Someone rolls it, and then they're basically banned. And they go, what about him? They go, end of discussion. So this is actually pretty poor, I think. So what's your opinion, guys? There's really two questions to be asked here. One, do you actually think these handlebars should be banned? Now, I must admit, they look like they're specifically designed to put your forearms on, and I don't think there's any doubt about that. But so, do you really think they should be banned? So I've got a picture up here. You can actually check out what they look like, and you can make your own decision. I'll leave that down in the comments. And the other question is, do you think that UCI should be allowing a rider or a product to be fitted to a bike and then saying, yeah, that's okay, but then once they've actually allowed the race to start, should they be able to go, hey, some people have questioned this, I don't like the look of them, and then they disqualify the rider? Now, that's the second question. So leave that down in the comments as well, because I'm very interested. Maybe I'm the oddball who's got a bit of a negative attitude towards the ECI and the way they're applying the rules. So, guys, give us your opinion. Do you agree with me, or do you agree with the UCI? Well, anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to leave it for today, and I'll see you next vid. Cheers.